Hey guys, today I'm going to be doing a book review on Divergent by Veronica Roth. Divergent takes place in a dystopian future version of Chicago where at the age of 16, teenagers must choose a faction to live in. First, there is the Abnegation, who are the selfless. Then Amity, the peaceful, Candor, the honest, then Erudite, the intelligent, and Dauntless, the brave. It is Beatrice Pryor's time to choose her faction, but she comes to realize that she is a divergent. A divergent being someone who does not belong to one particular faction. Being divergent is dangerous as it threatens the system. So Beatrice must learn to adapt and keep her secret. I finally decided to read this book because the movie is coming out later this week, and I wanted to see what all the hype was about. So my final thoughts as I concluded this book: what's the hype about? Sorry, I may be pissing a lot of my subscribers off, but I just did not get the book. I did not understand the hype. As far as entertainment value, I enjoyed the book. It was fun to read, but it was just I think I saw another booktuber just kind of refer to it as mediocre, and that's kind of all it was for me, and it was something I just gave 3 stars to. Whereas with The Hunger Games, I can understand the hype, and The Hunger Games really just blew me away, and I felt like The Hunger Games really just brought something new to dystopian literature, and I just did not see Divergent bring anything new to dystopian literature. I would label Divergent more of a casual read for me, not something that I'm obsessed about and have to read all the time. With that being said, I would love to still continue to read the series, but I'm not going to make it a priority to read books 2 and 3. When I get to them, I get to them. I might just read them right before each movie comes out. In some ways, I kind of found the book a bit slow and boring on occasion. Not too much really actually happens once you think about it, and the book, is told in first person through Beatrice, or Triss as she is known later, and it focuses mostly on Triss's training and learning to become a Dauntless, and her whole relationship with other members of Dauntless, and her relationship with Four. For some reason, maybe it was the movie trailer that gave me this impression. I was under the impression that the whole book was like non-stop action from start to finish. And so I was kind of surprised that the action kind of really didn't happen until like the last, maybe 100 pages, if that. I think the world building by Veronica Roth was overall kind of fine. I still just did not understand the whole world. This whole world that Triss lives in. Once again, it's told through first person, so we're not really getting all that rich detail had it been in maybe third person. And I just felt like the book was so confined. We were just at Dauntless the whole time, pretty much, and I would have loved to have kind of gone outside of Dauntless and seen other things, and to kind of give me a better sense of the world building. And to also experience other factions, because I was really genuinely interested in kind of learning about all the other factions too. And that's the one thing about dystopian books that kind of irks me, is the fact that we are just kind of thrown into this world and we're not really given much explanation. You just gotta go with it, and sometimes that's kind of frustrating, because that when you're just thrown in, it kind of takes you away from all the other elements of the story, and you kind of end up focusing on that when you shouldn't be. It's like the same with The Giver. As much as I love The Giver by Lois Lowry, that's still kind of one of my big complaints, is that we're given all this world building, but it's like, well, what's the why and the how of this world building? And it's the same with Divergent. It's like, I want the why and the how. Triss as a character, she's just kind of hard for me to explain. Sometimes I liked her, sometimes I didn't like her. Triss is originally from Abnegation, and they are known as the Selfless, and so I think in some ways that kind of makes her kind of dull and boring. And even once she gets to Dauntless, it's like she's still kind of in that mindset for the majority of the time. And even though she tries to get out of that, it's like you can still kind of see that coming through. I feel like I only got to know Triss on like a very surface level. Like I didn't really get to know her like deep down in her core. I do think Triss in some ways is a very active character. I don't think she's an inactive character. I mean, she does take the course of choosing Dauntless instead of choosing abnegation. She's the first one who jumps off the building when they enter Dauntless. She's just very proactive. And she's very active in elevating herself within her own community, among her peers. But at the same time, it's just very weird because it's like there's two Trisses, and it's hard to understand this. And it's just, sometimes she's active and sometimes she's passive, and I just don't understand why she was like that sometimes. And I often felt like she was just watching a lot of the action around her, more so than participating in the action. And the same is kind of for her personality, which was confusing. Sometimes she was really nice and friendly, but then all of a sudden she would do just a flip and be really hateful and mean and spiteful when I didn't think she needed to be. I mean, maybe Triss being a confusing character is, maybe, I don't know, maybe it's the point, because she is divergent after all, and that's supposed to be, you know, if you're divergent, you're multiple things, so maybe that's why she's confusing to me. 4 was a pretty awesome character. I think when I watch reviews for Divergent, 4 is far and away one of the fan favorites, it seems, and I think he was my favorite too. He's just one of those characters who has some dark secrets. He's very mysterious. He doesn't share much, and his relationship with Triss is just very interesting and kind of unexpected. Even though I'd seen reviews for it, I knew that relationship was coming. I do think their relationship was very gradual. I don't think they don't initially trust each other at first. They just really gradually get to know each other and develop a relationship and bond. So I don't think it was insta-love by any means. And the great thing about 4 is that he's almost like this revolutionary in some ways. He just has very opposite ideas to other members of his faction. And he just thinks Dauntless should be doing different things than what it did in the past. Like I said, overall, I did enjoy the book for what it was. I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it. I was just very casual about it, and it just, for sheer entertainment value, that's kind of all it was for me. And like I said, I would really like to read books 2 and 3 later in the future. I seriously just don't get all the hype, and why people just, they freak out. I mean, seriously, they freak out about this book and go absolutely insane, and I just don't know why. I didn't find anything wildly spectacular or new and interesting about it, and I don't think it brought anything new to dystopian literature. But yeah, I wonder how many evil comments I'm going to get. Be nice to me, guys. But do you love Divergent? Do you hate Divergent? Are you going to go see the movie? I'm going to see the movie. I feel like I'm going to end up liking the movie more than the book. So just share your thoughts with me, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.